What's up, everybody? And this is the Microphone Joes. With me, as always, is Adamix, CJC, and I'm No Rev.
Almost forget your name there.
A little bit, yeah. But anyways, we're back for the Defenders Part 2.
This is Episode 6, Part 2. We just watched Episode 5 of Defenders, so let's go ahead and start talking about it.
Let's recap. So they start off in the Chinese restaurant. They kind of finish up the fight there. One thing I wanted to bring up, I don't like how Luke Cage is being portrayed.
Yeah.
He's kind of, when he first fought Iron Fist, that was pretty spot on, but now he's kind of being nerfed.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like he's taking punches and going down.
They're making him seem like less powerful than he actually has
I kind of
been.
understood when the white hat. They said his name once. I can't remember what it was.
I forget it too.
But I kind of understood when he beat Luke Cage up a little bit because he's this immortal. He's been around forever. But I didn't like that Elektra kind of gave him a run for his money. That really bothered me.
Oh, Luke Cage?
Yeah, that really bothered me because he should be able to just block her sword, punch her in the face, and she's done. But she knocked him over, threw him over a table. Nah, because on top of being super strong, doesn't he basically weigh like as much as a truck or something? I think in the Luke Cage, somebody tried to pick him up or something. They couldn't do it.
I know. In the series, he gets hit by a car.
Yeah, but
he braced himself, but like it wraps itself around him.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense that this little woman could pick him up and throw him. And they've not told us she has any superpowers. She's just like really good at kung fu, I guess.
Well, there's been some hints that she has a little bit of enhanced strength now. Like she threw a guy clear across the room in this last.
That was a little Chinese man though, and he wasn't expecting it.
Even still, she's a little Chinese woman, so you got to give her credit where credit's due.
Isn't she South American?
She's like British, whatever.
Right. Anyways, so this episode we were talking about it off air is very exposition heavy. There's a lot of setting up. I think this is going to be our one really slow episode, and now it's going to start ramping up. But we did learn the motivation behind the hand that they're trying to get back to Kunlun, and that's why they need the Iron Fist.
Yeah, because Sigourney Weaver is trying to just live forever.
She doesn't want to die. She wants to live forever on Earth.
Whereas the rest of the hand wants to get back to Kunlun.
For what we assume, would be them
nefarious.
They want to take over.
In some kind of nefarious purposes.
Yeah, I felt like the majority of this episode was the Defenders realize that their immediate loved ones are going to be threatened, and it's them kind of rounding them up.
Yeah,
there's a couple of action sequences. Matt Murdock finally dons the Daredevil costume.
Suit. And Danny Rand says what everybody's thinking. That's cool.
He's the only one with a suit. Yeah. No, that's true. Well, I think he was talking about the cane whip too.
Yeah,
when he's trying to torture that guy.
I think you're right, but he said what everybody was thinking.
In general. Yeah, now they finally put it back on, but
yeah.
Well, then it's implied. I think we're gonna probably jump back to some of the smaller characters a little bit as well, because they're in police protection right now.
Yeah, so we'll probably get some side storylines between all that.
Keep it short.
I'm hoping they will as well. They'll mainly focus on the Defenders, definitely in the penultimate episode and the finale. But this next episode, we might get a little bit of them interacting in the police station and kind of tying the threads together with Karen and was it Karen?
Yeah. Karen Page.
Yeah, Karen Page and Foggy and Trish and her neighbor. Yeah, and the night nurse.
I can't remember what's her name.
Nurse. Claire.
Claire, yep.
I did my research on that one too.
And then get Stick chopping off the dude's
white
head.
hat. We did learn too that to resurrect Elektra, Alexander, Sigourney Weaver's character, used the last of their liquid that they were bringing themselves back to life with. Right. So they are mortal now until they can get back to Kunlun. We learn that, and then 5 minutes later, Stick cuts off one of the fingers of the hand. Yeah, his head. So he's dead. He's gone.
So now there's only 4 left, which 4 versus 4.
And it looks like the hand is going to have some problems internally because the other Madame Gao, the dude from Iron Fist, the one that ran
the tutor who is alive,
and the Japanese guy, they all seem to be kind of turning on Sigourney Weaver's character because she's not after the same goals as them, and because they realize she won't accept it that Elektra or the Black Sky may be
there's
having some memories back.
She's not the empty vessel that they were saying.
Twice Matt Murdock has spoken to her, and she's kind of, and at the end of the episode,
she had this weird, she kind of broke into his apartment and went and slept in the bed.
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes. I have a feeling she's going to die permanently by the end of this season.
At least
and I feel like, I was talking to No Rev about this a couple days ago. I think that one of the things they're going to do, because they always have to, these shows have, they have their formulas. You got to put one of the characters in that moral decision making. Tough. I think Daredevil's going to have to be one to kill her.
I don't think so. My prediction is she's going to survive this, just because she died, if you will, at the very end of Daredevil season 2, and we already know that Daredevil's been renewed for a season 3. Mm-hmm. So to kind of have his story ending on her dying again, I think she's going to factor pretty heavily into season 3. I think in general she's had a pretty good reception.
I feel like season 3 of Daredevil, not to get too off subject, but is going to we're going to get Wilson Fisk back, I think, and I think it's going to follow the comic book line. I think Karen Page is going to be really fucked up from this, and that's what's going to push her to that crackhead phase. Where
I can only hope so, because I hate her.
Where she eventually sells Fisk his identity. I do think the next season of Daredevil is going to be Fisk again, which would be amazing.
It's going to be really dark. Because I think Daredevil is probably going to end after season 3. That's just a personal guess. Not that it couldn't keep going. I just have a feeling that they're going to give them 3 seasons, and that's where they're going to start cutting off the stories. Idea. So they don't just keep going, and then it's not just
you don't turn into the CW.
Right,
we'll rehash the same stories over and over again.
Well, we know Daredevil will get a season 3, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Defenders got a season 2, and they'll bring him back for that. But that's probably the last that we're going to see of Daredevil on Netflix
for a while, anyways.
I think especially with Disney.
Oh, on Netflix, you mean? I thought you meant.
I think in general.
If anything, if they do end up bringing him back, I feel like it'll be on that Disney streaming service. But if they continue with some kind of Marvel something on Netflix, they'll just bring in new characters.
I heard that Netflix was really hardcore negotiating to keep some Disney stuff available. I don't know if that'll happen. I mean, Disney's not want to turn down money, so if they see the possibility of keeping Netflix revenue stream and their own, they probably would just do it.
All right, well, back to the topic at hand. I see, like I said, he's the 3rd season. He'll be back for the Defenders too, and then I think they're gonna, if they don't kill off the character, they're going to retire him, and then the next time that we see him might be on the big screen.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't surprise me, because they have the rights to the character clearly.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they just bring him back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then it's, do they keep Charlie Cox or do they recast it? And that's what we're going to see, if they're going to actually merge the fucking TV and the movies. That's just my personal prediction.
But how do you really replace Charlie Cox?
Yeah, he's really good as Daredevil. He does a great job.
Ben Affleck is dropping out of Batman. What's he up to?
Yeah, but Ben Affleck as Batman did not have the same kind of impact as Charlie Cox as Daredevil. I mean, that just blew me away when I first seen it on Netflix.
Yeah, he's really good. I did want to bring up one thing that I pointed out we were watching. Why do all the villains drive black SUVs?
It must be in the henchman.
It's gotta be. I would totally.
It's the evil MO.
I would totally equip my guys with pink punch bugs.
I'm telling you, man, Priuses.
No, they're evil, but they're environmentally friendly.
Either that, or I'll go one step further. Get one of those little moped scooters.
There you go. Nobody would ever see you coming on a moped.
Nope, just a moped scooter and a rocket launcher. That's all I'm giving my bad guys.
Yeah.
This might warrant some more digging into. There's got to be a scientific reason why they gravitate towards black SUVs.
Them and government agencies.
It's the evilest vehicle there is.
So I think that probably just about does it for this episode. Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
No. I mean, we'll see where we're gonna go. I've made my prediction. I think Elektra's gonna survive. I think next episode we're gonna get a little bit of the sidekicks or side people or whatever interacting.
I just hope that we don't get any more of the girl that helps out Iron Fist. I hope we don't see her crying anymore, because that was brutal.
Yeah.
Colleen Wing.
Yeah. She should not be emoting. That
was a little too.
She shouldn't be emoting? Is that what
she should not be emoting at all.
Nice one.
All right.
If anybody that I want to see cry, it's probably Foggy.
All right, we'll be back in a little bit.
And we're back. Prophecies were true. All right, so
we just keep coming back.
Yeah. Well, I forget. How did this episode start off again? I didn't take notes. You did.
It started out.
She was listening to a record player.
Yes, and then the beginning, and then it went to them talking about what they had found out that Danny was the key to opening the lock.
We believe it's and it's actually pretty heavily implied.
It's whatever's the bottom of that hole.
Well, it was the door. I think they were talking about in episode 1.
It's a door to get to Kunlun.
You think it's like a back door to get into?
I think it's like they built a back
Because I
door.
thought they were talking about in like the first 2 episodes, they didn't know what the hell was behind it. Like it was unexpected.
They couldn't destroy it. They said,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's that's my only guess is that he's going to open that door for them to get back to Kunlun.
Right. Well, that's where I'm at as well. Is I think that he opens the door, but initially they were almost surprised because they were drilling. And they're like, we came across this, and nothing we can do is destroy it.
Yeah, I think it's because Danny, in the episode, he's under the impression there was only one way into Kunlun through those mountains. And he also thinks Kunlun was destroyed, but they've discovered this other entrance.
Yeah.
Okay.
So nobody really knew about it. It must be kind of like... The best way I can think of it is like those portals in Doctor Strange to get back to... wherever he trains at, there's one in New York and London. And
right.
Kind of like that. Kind of like that.
I see it as an alternate gate in the Kunlun as well.
Yeah.
Are definitely something's behind it, and the Iron Fist is the key to get in.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Mr.
So they have a throwdown.
Yeah, and Daredevil is by far the most skilled fighter.
Oh yeah, because he just whoops.
Danny couldn't get a shot in on him.
Yeah, he whoops Danny Rand's ass.
Right. So Iron Fist wants to go out with them. All 3 of them collectively, and he wants to go and fight, and they discover from White Hat that he is the key, that's what they're looking for. So they want to keep him in captivity and off the streets. So then he tries to fight back. Daredevil whoops the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
And then they end up taking him out,
tying him up.
Yeah. Stick decapitates the White Hat while they're arguing.
That happened at the end of the last episode.
Did it?
Yeah. This picks up like right after that, and Stick sends the head back to the hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then that's when we find out that it's been like a year after the Daredevil episode or final episode.
Yeah, it took a year to build because Midland Circle is above that hole
that they find in season 2 of Daredevil,
and that's the hole that we theorized the door to Kunlun is at the bottom of.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Daredevil, so it kind of splits into it's a split narrative. Luke and Danny. Luke has to watch over Danny while he's imprisoned.
And I think, once again, they've been throwing them together a lot.
Yeah, he even says you and I need to be out there together.
Yeah, I think that they haven't said it yet, but there's going to be a Heroes for Hire.
That's probably a good idea.
Yeah. That, or if they don't specifically call it Heroes for Hire in Season 2 in Iron Fist, especially since it was the weakest critically received, you'll see Luke Cage come in, I think.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
It'll basically be Heroes for Hire.
Right.
Yeah. And then Jessica and Daredevil go looking for more info from the architect that killed himself, and they find plans for the building.
Not the building, it was the hole underneath
both
the
the
building.
and the hole, because he was trying to... So I was confused about that originally, was why he had the C4.
Yeah.
And I didn't put 2 and 2 together until they basically, spelled it out for us. Maybe you guys did, but he wanted to bring the building down on top of that hole.
Which I'm kind of curious, because... you might see that some group is up to something nefarious, but to be like, I'm going to blow this fucking building up, he must have had some deeper knowledge or something at the bottom of that hole. Like, the door is like, holy shit.
Well, they did say, his daughter said he changed. He wouldn't eat, he wouldn't sleep, he wouldn't spend time with them. Like, maybe he saw something.
That's what I mean.
Or maybe he, ran into the door and it changed him, internally and physically.
Yes, there's something that happened.
Something happened to him beyond just learning
realizing
that a corporation is digging a hole. Something nefarious fucking happened.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And then Stick tries to kill Iron Fist.
Yeah, because he realizes there's a third option, which is take out Danny Rand.
So he poisons. He poisons.
He lights a poison incense. That drugs Luke Cage.
Which I don't see why more people don't do that.
Yeah,
he's got breakable
so
skin. So why not at least poison gas? Or
they might not have thought about it.
Yeah, that's
honestly,
true.
It's.
And Elektra spends the beginning of the episode rediscovering herself. Oh, the Black Sky, and she ends up at her own gravesite.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah. It seems like she seemingly pulls her back from the edge back into the fold.
And then she ends up
killing Stick.
Kill Stick.
And she gets Danny Rand. She kind of takes down the rest of them. Luke Cage is still semi-poisoned, so she's able to knock him out. She doesn't kill any of them. She just takes, and then we get the big twist there at the end.
She ends
kills
Alexandra.
She kills Alexandra, but they set it up like she's going to kill the other three, and then Sigourney Weaver's giving this like big speech and just
He gets stabbed in the back.
Yeah,
and Elektra says that they work for her now.
I'm
I'm curious as to why she has any interest in Kunlun whatsoever, unless once again there's something beyond the scenes. Beyond just getting back to Kunlun, and they just haven't played all of their hand.
What I would think is that maybe she wants to get back there not for what they want, but maybe to destroy it. Because think about it from her perspective, her whole life has been ruined by these people, and both sides of it. Maybe I'm going to use them to get back and just in one foul swoop destroy everybody that's caused me pain.
Yeah, pretty much against her will. She was brought into this war
by Stick,
and then she was fought over, and multiple people have tried to kill her.
Yep.
I can see that. Yeah, she's just bitter, and she wants her old life back, but she wants to wipe the slate.
I'm telling you, though, I feel like now, after this episode, even more than before, my prediction about him having to kill her, I really feel like we're heading down that road.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock having to
kill her.
Yeah,
I really feel like he's going to have to.
Now, I think my opinion is starting to sway a little bit, because I'm pretty sure I said in the first part that my original prediction was that she was going to survive and be in Season 3. I still think she's going to be survive, and I think that she'll be in Season 3, but not as an ally. But historically in the comics, she's always done like a
frenemy.
Yeah, frenemy.
On the fence kind of friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I could see her kind of pulling back into the fold a little bit and teaming up with Daredevil again in Season 3, but still being an antagonist.
Yeah, that could be.
So I don't.
We'll see. It's getting interesting. We've got 2 episodes to go.
Yeah,
that's right.
And plus, I thought it was really cool that Elektra finally picked up the sights again. Because that was that was her actual weapon in the comics.
Didn't even register to me. Wow.
Well, I saw her looking at them on the wall.
She looked at him a few times in this series.
Yeah.
If you think about it. When she first got resurrected, she looked right at him, but then she ended up choosing the
double sword.
Yeah, the double sword.
Well, that's why I think that she'll be in Daredevil Season 3, is they're starting to bring her around to her comic book counterpart.
Yeah.
As like the frenemy kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's surprising that they killed off. It's a good twist. You don't expect it to come killing off Weaver like that.
Yeah, and to bring on somebody like as big as she is just to kill her off 2 episodes short of the end game.
Yeah, they didn't let her play her hand. I think after the Defenders, the hand's going to be done.
I do too.
It's
unraveling.
The remnants might factor into Iron Fist Season 2 a little bit, but I think that it's no longer going to factor into the rest of the series.
Yeah.
They're going to do away with them as a villain.
Because
they're unraveling very quickly.
Yeah, and not only that too, but they've kind of outplayed the whole hand thing.
Yeah,
like this has to be it, because it's been a part of the whole thing.
Not so much series. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, but it's factored really heavily.
I did think they said something. I'm not even really sure, but I did think to myself, "Boy, this would be a lot easier if Kilgrave was still alive." Think about it, though. All these badass ninjas, he could just walk into the room and say, "Slit your own throats."
Yeah,
that's true.
Such a good bad guy.
Yeah, let's not go deep into that. So I think we're all set for this episode, right? Any other thoughts?
No. I guess we're gonna see how this plays out. It's heating up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Right. 2 more episodes.
All right, and we're back.
We're done.
Yeah, and we're done. We're doing episodes 7 and 8.
7 was kind of weak, so we just kind of decided to finish it off.
And then a recap of the series as whole.
So I don't have much on episode 7, except Madame Gao has the Force.
And Iron Fist is a dumbass.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like we said before we started up the podcast, this series to me has been a little bit of a letdown. It feels like there's been a lot of smoke and no fire.
Yeah.
If there was like a big build-up with very little payoff.
Yeah. I had said in that same conversation that I feel like they had this mapped out from the beginning, and I think that this payoff. I think Iron Fist was supposed to be. He obviously was the key, quote unquote, to everything. I think it was going to be more. It was going to have more for him to do, but when they got the negative reception around Iron Fist, they pulled back, which is why we get a lot of him knocked out, tied up, just not there because they realized, people don't really like him, but they were too invested at that point to change the story, and they kept because it didn't make. They kept talking like they were going back to Kunlun, and in the end, they just wanted a dragon skeleton underneath New York City that somehow was holding the city up.
Yeah, because they were talking about the door and all that, which, granted, it could have been, would have been a wall.
So from what I understand, the dragon's bones are what gives them immortality.
Yeah.
And they wanted that dragon for that. But also, how is pulling a dragon's bones off another city going to make it collapse? Nothing's really fleshed out there. It's just, the city's in danger, It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just in general, like I said, it seemed like if you don't watch any of the 8 episodes, all you really have to take away is they need Iron Fist to unlock a sealed door underneath this building that they constructed to hide that they want to recoup these dragons' bones to turn into a liquid so that they can live forever.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the entire series in a nutshell.
What I don't understand is because the conflict between the other Fingers of the Hand and Sigourney Weaver's character was that they didn't have the same goals. Because it made it sound like the other 4 wanted to actually get to Kunlun, and she just wanted to live forever. But by the end, they were just going to live forever.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like they forgot what the conflict was, and just does that make sense? What I'm trying to say, I can't really figure out.
No, you're 100% right.
Yeah, they kind of contradicted themselves.
Yeah. Also, the other thing in episode 7 was they had like this really long extended scenes in the police station, where Misty was interrogating Jessica Jones at first, and what I still don't get, we're in the Marvel Universe, and she says, you wouldn't believe if I told you. Why wouldn't they believe you? They had a friggin' portal to another world open up above New York City.
Yeah, that's fair.
Of course they're going to at least, for a second, think about it. They're just going to dismiss you after everything else has happened.
I think I would actually be interested to go back and look at the credits and see if it was the same director for all of them, because I think that my biggest issue with this series was inconsistent pacing.
Yes.
Yeah. It seemed like sometimes we got a lot of action and shit was going to ramp up, and then it just glided right back down, and there was like 2 nothing happens episodes.
Yeah.
And then it ramped back up a little bit. And
why would
back
you...
down.
It didn't make sense, like you're saying, pacing not just inside the episode, but for the season, because, what was it? Episode 4 was kind of slow. Mm-hmm. Right in the middle, you had that, but why would you make episode 7 another slow episode?
Right.
That's a good question.
It doesn't make sense to pop 2 of your slowest episodes in this back half of the season.
Right. Because back half of the season is where it's all supposed to been ramping up.
Yeah, it should have been all ramped into 8. It should have been. It wasn't paced well.
Not only that, too, but like even in the same episodes, like right after, the whole climax or whatever, like especially episode 8. Yeah, after they dropped the building, it was so slow with the aftermath.
Very slowly. It was very slow.
The aftermath and all the conclusion was very, very
also,
slow.
Also, the stakes that they put in place, it wasn't. They weren't. There was no stakes because Daredevil died. Spoiler alert. But we know because they've already announced they got a season 3, and they immediately show him afterwards. Like, if you're gonna do that, don't tell everybody there's a season 3 coming, and don't show him. Right, let us think he's dead.
Yeah,
I think they were. They had the outlying story, but I think that they weren't sure how to fill in some of the blanks, and they kind of let us down in that.
Honestly,
regard.
This could have been 6 episodes. They could have tightened it even more.
Yeah,
I think so.
6 episodes would have been fine. Cut out. You could have condensed a lot of this into just 6 45-minute episodes.
Yeah, because we didn't need like 2 whole episodes of side character nonsense.
I feel like even the action was inconsistent. And I don't mean as to when it was sprinkled in. I mean, some fight scenes were clearly better than others.
Yeah. I feel like even inside of the same episode. So like in episode 7, was it 7? Where he was fighting Elektra in the basement? Or was that 8? They're blending together for
8.
me. Okay, so in episode 8, Iron Fist is fighting Elektra in the basement, and that fight is so sloppy looking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the other 3 are fighting the rest of the hand above, and that fight looked much better. Except when Madame Gao was involved, then they had to cut and edit around.
Yeah, that was awful.
But other than that, but the other people that were fighting, that looked so much better. It feels like maybe the actor who plays Danny Rand is just so bad at this fighting that the editing has to try to make it look a little better.
Maybe. Well, I don't know, though, because I think For me, the best fight scene and probably my favorite moment in the entire series is when Daredevil and Danny Rand square off.
Yeah.
So, and maybe it's not Danny Rand,
but there was so much more steady cam in that one.
But Charlie Cox has shown that he is fucking awesome at action sequences.
Back to that same point, I mean, in the same episode, we had one terrible fight, one good fight, and then the final fight, that looked really good.
Yeah.
Like the way the camera panned around, there wasn't shaky cam, it didn't zoom in anybody, it was a wide shot, and it just panned kind of almost just kept going in 360
like they did
over
in the Daredevil.
Yeah, and that's, they got like 5 different camera operators and editors going on or something.
Okay, so right now I suppose we're on where they failed or where we felt they let us down.
And can I go back to this whole Iron Fist is a dumbass thing? Like in episode 7 when
he opens the gate.
Yeah, because you can just see that coming from a mile away. It's like Iron Fist,
so
makes his fist glow, and then he's trying to be Elektra. But then she backs up towards the wall, and it's just like, really, she's going to trick him into punching.
Yeah, you know that she's the only reason you're down there is because she wants you to open the door. And clearly, if nobody can open it but you, it has something to do with your fucking glowing fist. And I mean, educated guess, you probably have to touch it to the wall, and that's exactly what you needed to do. And somehow she tricked you into doing it.
Somehow you were stupid enough. Well, I guess if we're talking about things they didn't do well, personally, I thought the mystical element of it, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, that we had talked about it before. In the intermission between episodes, is that the best parts of Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage are when it's believable.
Yeah.
The Punisher was a show stealer in season 2.
Not realistic, but believable.
Yeah. I mean, they can stretch the bounds of realism. You know, like obviously, like this blind man being able to do all this in super strength and tentacle skin, clearly. But when it gets too mystical, you made the perfect point. Is that Iron Fist to the Marvel TV series is like Doctor Strange to the cinematic universe.
But they pulled it off with Doctor Strange. But they did not pull it off with Iron Fist. And I can't really put my finger on whether is that Finn Jones the actor? Is that the writing? Was that the director? I really can't. Maybe it might be all 3 of them.
I think it's a failure on all 3 parts, but I think that it's like a collective failure.
Yeah.
But Iron Fist was able to pull off some of his shit during this season. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it wasn't that bad. Okay. And we were even talking, like, oh, this is how you do Iron Fist, and then they go and ruin it.
Honestly, that's my next point, is the next thing I didn't think they did well was when Danny does stuff.
What do you mean?
I mean, anytime it was focused on him, it just wasn't good.
No.
When he was in the background, or he was one of the... Yeah, but anytime it was just him... It was not good.
Colleen Wing as well. I think that she's her shit's kind of weak too. Like the fight scene with her mentor, I thought was weak.
Well, now going into my next point, I think side characters slow all of these seasons down. I get tired of focusing. Like we had at least 3 separate times where it was Colleen Wing and Night Nurse. I can never remember her name. Claire. And I just get tired of it. I get tired of seeing Foggy. I get tired of seeing Karen. I get tired of being stuck on them. The only one that honestly works well for me is Jessica Jones's quote-unquote sister, because she feels like she's organic to what's happening. She's not shoved in your face all the time.
Yeah, Jessica Jones, I feel like, has some pretty strong side characters. With her neighbor and Trish.
And the cop.
And you guys don't like them, but I actually
the cop was actually Luke Cage.
I mean, Foggy is hit or miss for me, but Karen Page really gets under my skin.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be the Punisher, by the way.
Really?
Yep. They're bringing her back to the Punisher.
Because she was the only one that connected with him. They got to... Because the thing... What they're going to do with it... Okay, we'll discuss that some other time. But those are what I didn't think they did well. Do you guys have anything else to add?
I've got a lot. So, the Hand in general, I feel like they've ruined it. Yeah. They went from, like, a shadow organization
like
to having...
Mafia.
Yeah, to having, like, unclear motivations, to having motivations with little to no fucking payoff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because, like we just said in the beginning of this section we just started... Their motivation seemed to be getting back to Kunlun, which was against Alexandra's, but by the time we got to the end, they basically had the same motivation as Alexandra. It didn't make any sense.
Right.
And they all didn't want the Black Sky to be there, but as soon as she takes over, they just blindly follow her. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
No. Yeah, like I said, the pacing and just the story was all over the place. The focus on Colleen Wing, I didn't like. I just don't like her as a character. She, to me, is your guys' Foggy. Like, she ruins it for me. I think She's not a bad actress, I just can't put my finger on what's wrong with her.
I think we can all agree that anything that came out of that Iron Fist series kind of ruins it for us.
Yeah. And that, I think, is what ruined the Defenders, is they focused too much on the Iron Fist aspect of it. Right. Alexandra, I think they failed there. Like, there was this big build-up, like, so she's supposed to be this big bad, she's putting Madame Gao in her place, and then she's just killed, and that's the fucking end of it.
Yeah.
That was weak. Everybody at the end gets a get out of jail free card for collapsing a building in the middle of New York.
Yeah,
like that. That's so unbelievable.
We all live happily ever after. That was the other thing was Misty got her arm cut off.
Another Star Wars reference. I mean, come on.
I am more likely to believe that dragons were fucking real than that you can collapse a city or collapse a building in the middle of New York and get away with it.
And that nobody would talk about it.
Yeah. In Elektra's drive, I don't understand. Like, she just randomly turns on Alexandra and she takes over the organization, and then all of a sudden she loves Matt Murdock again.
But she was like this. Bit. She was like, I was sitting there thinking the whole time, like, we had discussed this before, that maybe she was using the hand to destroy both the hand and Kunlun because everybody ruined her lives. That would make good motivation.
That would have been better.
Yeah,
than what the fuck they gave her.
What was going on? Because she
wanted to live forever.
I almost got this cackling villain at the end. Like, I don't care about good or evil. I just like being free. Like, that's not. I don't know.
That completely contradicts from everything else that she was wanting to do.
Exactly.
It was really strange.
I think it just boils down to bad writing. As they've had great moments, and I'm not even saying that Daredevil in either of the seasons, Luke Cage or Jessica Jones, was perfect. They had their weak episodes too.
Yeah,
but the backbone of their stories
you didn't have enough room for that kind of error in this season, this series.
Yes, you had 8 episodes. It was tight.
Yeah, it was too built up.
And honestly,
for it too.
Like I already said, it could have been cut down to 6. You could have cut out a lot of that crap and made it 6 episodes.
It's okay. Do you have any?
Yeah, actually, I have a couple of good things. Just to
hold on. Do you have any more
let's
cons?
finish the cons first, and then we'll switch over to the.
I still hate the fact that Madame Gao basically had the Force. Like, what the fuck?
Like, say what you said to us before we.
So, in the movie Unbreakable, Samuel Jackson has a pretty good point when he's talking to Bruce Willis about how he's describing a comic book and how the hero in the comic book is this super strong guy, and the villain fights him with his mind because he'll never be able to stand toe to toe. You don't have to have every villain in one of these fucking Marvel things be superpowered or hold their own in a fight.
Right.
They can fight the hero with their mind. They can just have a henchman that does the fighting.
And up to this point, that had been what Madame Gao was. She was manipulating. She was pulling the strings from the bat. But then the
Iron Fist
couple episodes, she's got the Force.
Like no, because they actually started doing that in Iron Fist, though.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because
I think she did it like once or twice. I think
once or twice in Iron Fist, and then going back to it again, Iron Fist
make contact with their body.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, she touched them, but she blew them back a lot.
Which even then, that's a little more believable. That maybe once in a while this little woman can sum up,
she can channel her chi or something.
Yeah, but no, she's actually blowing people back, serious Qui-Gon Jinn shit
and debris and all that.
It just didn't. It's so
they're towards the end when all the elevator shaft. I was completely expecting her to full on Matrix Neo, just jump right up into the elevator shaft and shit.
What else you got? Anything?
Just how idiotic Iron Fist is, and they made him into this. He was just so inconsistent because it's 1 minute he can take a punch and then the next he's getting his ass kicked. It's they made him seem like a little bitch throughout the whole time.
Well, that's the same thing with Luke Cage. Once again, I think that the underlying issue with the Defenders period is inconsistency.
Yeah.
When they nailed it, it had high points, it had moments. When they nailed it, they fucking nailed it, and you felt like, yes, they're finally getting their act together. But when they failed, it ruined everything.
Yeah. I mean, we said this before. It's tough to do a team up like this, but a TV series is the place that it should work because you have more than just the 2.5 hours of a movie. You should be able to make this work.
I think they tried to do too much fan service. I think they assumed that some people out there actually liked Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Because they brought back the mentor and shit like that, and you didn't have to.
No.
At all. He did. I didn't actually finish Iron Fist. Was he ever mentioned as one of the fingers of the hand at all?
No. He was just in charge of a train. He died at the end.
And he didn't have to fucking be a finger of the hand. They could have just let him be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tried to bring him back because they thought that the 5 people out there that were actually this is okay.
Why? They should have, even if they brought him as a finger of the hand, they should have he should have been the one to die at Stick's hands, not the White Hat, because he was cool, White Hat.
Yeah,
he had an air of menace to him. It wasn't
fair.
like this, because that guy, he seems like he's forcing the menace, but White Hat didn't even say much, and you kind of got the idea this dude's a badass.
Right. I also think, and this is just my personal opinion, instead of the Asian gentleman that stepped in as one of the fingers of the hand, one of the fingers of the hand should have been Nobu, and either they bring him back again or he was just dead after the events of Daredevil Season 2.
Yeah.
Because if they're so low on this fucking substance, why did they use it to resurrect Nobu if he was a nobody?
Yeah, that's true. That is a very good point. All right, so we want to move on to things that we did think they did well.
I liked the dynamic between the main four. When they were actually together and talking, or when they were fighting together, they pulled it off.
Their
Those
chemistry
were the strongest
was very
moments.
good.
Yeah.
And then also broken down into groups. Like it kind of, I think 3 times it came about where Iron Fist and Luke Cage were together, and Jessica Jones and Daredevil were together, and those two dynamics worked very well.
Those are the strongest parts of the series.
Right.
Yep. When they were fighting against each other. Those were the best parts of the series.
Those were good. Yep.
There were some good jokes, like how they kept ripping on Iron Fist in his cheek.
Throughout
the whole thing.
One of the things I thought they did the best was keeping Iron Fist out of the action.
Yeah.
Knocking him out, tying him up.
If only they would have gagged him too.
Yeah. If only they would have just let Stick slid him through.
There you go.
And I also thought that for the most part, 80% of the time, the fight choreography was much better than Iron Fist, which is our most recent. Yeah, the fights, definitely. Especially Daredevil. I mean, Charlie Cox does a really good job.
Yeah. I think he has got the best the best fight choreography of any of the series so far. So anytime that he was involved in a fight, they usually played it off pretty well.
Yeah, they did really well.
I put Elektra until they fucked her over and ruined her. Put her back into the series. Besides that, when she was first resurrected and they brought her about and everything, they were nailing it. Like you were mentioning, Rev. The costume, everything.
Oh, yeah.
They got the flavor, they got the feel of it, and then at the very end, when she killed Alexandra, the entire series fell apart.
Well, not to toot my own horn, but I think it could have been a good payoff if she was playing against both sides.
Yeah, if they would have had better motivation.
If it had gotten to the point where they got in that tunnel and they got to what they wanted, and she goes, fuck all of you, I don't give a shit about you, I'm going to kill all of you, and I'm going to destroy Kunlun because all you've done is ruin my life since the beginning. That would have made her, her motivation would have been clear, and the payoff would have been much better.
Really, they could have saved all of that to the very end when she's fighting Matt Murdock, and she plays her hand to him.
Yeah,
I'm trying to bring them both down.
That's true.
She could have done fighting why are you doing this? I loved you, and she could have been I'm trying to bring them both down. I'm sick of people controlling my life. I just want to be free.
There you go. There's something they could have changed. That would have made a lot of problems around her character and the death of Sigourney Weaver. It would have made, okay, this makes sense. And now she's just an evil bad guy. That's all she became.
I don't care. I've never cared about anybody but myself. And
insert handlebar mustache and cat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, basically. And the last thing I personally thought, before they killed her off, I thought Sigourney Weaver was great.
Yeah, I thought she was too.
She just controlled every scene
she had menace.
Was in. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she just had deep menace. That's why I was so disappointed when she died. Is it always felt like she's not playing her whole hand and she's building up to something that nobody knows about. Yeah. And then all of a sudden she's stabbed in the back, and I was just what the fuck?
I mean, even right from the first episode when she just bitch slaps Madame Gao, it's just and none of them. When that dude comes to assassinate her, the Japanese one, and she's like, "You made a mistake coming alone," and but it sounded like it wasn't.
Stands up
it was a promise. You made a mistake.
Exactly.
Coming alone.
That's what I mean. I felt they did not utilize her enough. They had this perfect actress and they ruined it.
Yeah.
What else? You got anything else, Rep?
I got one last thing. I think Jessica Jones definitely needs a deadbolt. Because every single time
he has a key. So I'm thinking they did that at the very end. Her neighbor, is in the apartment. He's fixing bullet holes or whatever, and they shut the door, and she pulls down the Alias investigations. I'm pretty sure her series is next, or is it I think the Punisher.
The Punisher is
in October.
The Punisher is next. But like Wyatt said, Karen Page is going to be in that, and he wasn't in it at all, so they can just pick up wherever with him.
I thought he would at least be teased a little bit.
Well, they had a teaser at the end. I don't think we stayed until after the credits, but that's the teaser that was on Facebook that we watched the other day.
Yeah, okay.
As they were just using the Defenders to hype the Punisher.
I think Punisher's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, even just a nod, just like in the news, like he's out there killing people or something like that. Yeah. Fuck, honestly, he could have been a better villain. Right. They just went up against him to stop killing people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
Yeah. Because he got that gray area where you don't really know who to root for. There's like moral ambiguity.
And then at the end, they all just team up and just like...
Yeah, to take him down. Because he's just out there killing people. And he would be one of those people that has access to Judas bullets and could be a real threat to Luke Cage. Because he's ex-military.
Yeah.
So I just Googled it.
Man, we should have just wrote this.
I can't find a release date for Punisher, but it keeps saying later this year.
Yeah, this year, yeah. And then Jessica Jones, and then I feel like Luke Cage. I'm not 100% though.
Yeah, I think Luke Cage is soon.
All right, anyways, so moving on. I got another question for all of us. Where do they go from here with everybody? I'm thinking team-ups. I think that, unfortunately, because Defenders was supposed to be the big payoff, but to me, it almost felt like they were using the Defenders to build up the rest of the fucking story.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah. I think Punisher's going to be the last one to get his own contained series,
unless they introduce somebody that goes over really well, like another big
I almost
Marvel
feel like
hero.
Though I don't know. I don't think they've kept up. I haven't kept up
just
with.
For you.
I don't know what Moon Knight is. I don't want you to explain it either.
It's like Marvel's Batman.
Okay,
kind of.
Punisher is Marvel's Batman.
No, not even.
No.
Okay, so anyways, is the Punisher doesn't take place in New York City, right?
It's New York City.
Oh man, he could go all over the place. They really should have him.
He's not restricted. He's not restricted to New York City.
I don't want another
the
series in New York City. Let's have the Punisher be outside.
Well, the big
New York.
thing with the Defenders that they always pushed in multiple interviews was that the Defenders protect the block, the Avengers protect the world.
Yeah.
When the Punisher clearly, because he wasn't in the Defenders at all, is not a Defender.
Yeah.
So I think he should travel. He should just be out there fucking people over wherever there's evil.
So I think
like send the Punisher to Detroit or something.
There you go. Any one of those crime-ridden cities. I think, skipping over the other individual series, I think Defenders 2, we had talked about this in between episodes. I really think the best way to go is Wilson Fisk be the big bad.
Right.
Because he can reach out and he can touch all of them in a very grounded, real way. You know, Danny Rand, he could try and tank his business. He goes after Daredevil for revenge. He could fuck with Jessica Jones. He could drop drugs into
frame Jessica Jones for murder or something.
Tons of drugs into Harlem, and it can be legitimate, real things they're fighting, and not dragons and immortal samurai.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, that could be the threat, and then really with him, he stands alone as a strong villain, but you could kick him somebody to act as his henchman out there.
There you go. Yeah,
you could even do it as like a Wilson or as a Kingpin and throw in the Diamondback and have them work together to kind of fuck with everybody. You know, because
Diamondback. Kingpin would snap his neck in a heartbeat because he's too volatile.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like
a
big like
Diamondback was
a main henchman or something.
Fisk wouldn't put up with him. He wouldn't because he's
a psychopath.
Yeah, he was unhinged. You're right. I hate when they killed him off. I thought that was so dumb because Diamondback sucked.
Yeah, Cottonmouth was a way better villain.
He had like that suave, cool bad.
That's what I mean. And he was a match for Luke Cage because Luke Cage couldn't go in there and just kill him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like he had to play the psychological chess match.
Yeah, it was really dumb to kill off Cottonmouth and that.
Yeah,
stupid.
I don't disagree. I'm with you, and I hope that they do that, but I think they'll probably bring Kingpin back just for Daredevil 3.
Maybe you could start it there and then...
And look, the perfect setup for the next Defenders is, if they can't pull it off, cut it down to 6. Like you said, we could have done with last episodes. There was too much focus on the side characters. They need to just focus in on the main 4. Have it 6 episodes. Halfway through the season, they take down the big bad's main henchman, if you will, and then the back half is working their way up to him.
Yeah,
that's a perfect formula.
How it is.
Like I know it's kind of a color by numbers, but
all right. Any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Well, actually, no. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much covered what they could have done differently. Like I said, I think the future from here is team ups. I don't know if we'll see a Heroes for Hire. I think I've mentioned it like 5,000-6,000 fucking times now.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we'll see that. But I could see Iron Fist just being a pretty heavy part of Luke Cage Season 2, especially because Luke Cage Season 2 is up before the next season of Iron Fist. I don't think that we're going to see Daredevil before Season 3 just because everybody thinks that he's dead. But I could see some of the characters coming into Daredevil Season 3 from these other shows.
Mm-hmm. Definitely Jessica Jones. I feel like they had a strong bond.
Yeah, they had chemistry. I think that's what they were doing, is they were kind of teasing what matchups they'd like to see. Because those are the characters you saw roped together the most.
Yeah. Anything, Rev?
No, I think we pretty much covered it.
Okay, well, that's going to be it for us. Make sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We also have our podcast uploaded to iTunes, Google Play, Spreaker, and SoundCloud, and we will be back next week.
Or send a smoke signal to all of your friends.
We also take carrier pigeons.
That's right.
All right, stay average.